Ms. Jefferson, you say you're here today to end the neighborhood rumors and lies about your sexual history. You've asked the court for the results of a paternity test on Sir Javion, your 2-month-old son, to help you prove you were faithful to the man you say is his father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Singleton, you argue that Ms. Jefferson is not to be trusted or believed.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you contend that not only did she once lie about being 7 months pregnant, but you claim you also have physical proof that 2 other men could have fathered her son.
Yes, Your Honor.
Additionally, Ms. Jefferson, you are suing the defendant for $2,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim Mr. Singleton took baby clothes and furniture from you without
That's
your
correct.
knowledge or consent, just 3 weeks before you gave birth to your
Yes,
son.
Your Honor, that's correct.
So, Ms. Jefferson, let's start with the $2,000 in baby items you claim Mr. Singleton took unlawfully. What happened?
Okay, 3 weeks prior to that, me and Mr. Singleton had got into it. It was about some Facebook stuff I seen on his page. So I asked Mr. Singleton, when he go, take all his clothes and don't come back. So I was at my sister's house. So I went to the doctor. They said my pressure was up. So they was like, due to a preeclampsia, you're gonna have to have your baby early. Okay, so I was in the hospital. I had my baby. It was 3 days. We had to stay in the hospital for 3 days. Okay, so I come home and I go in my house, and the first thing I noticed was my rug messed up. I said, okay, so I put my rug. No, excuse me, Your Honor.
You object.
Excuse me, Your Honor. When I pulled out my, looked at my rug, it was paint on my rug. So as I pursued to go in the room and I opened my door, everything was on the floor. He messed up. I looked in my closet. All the baby clothes was gone. So I went in the other room. It was a box with 3 joint outfits in there. It was 6 to 9 months, and my baby was a newborn. How can my baby wear 6 to 9 months joint outfits? And that was too big. But no matter of fact, Your Honor, I have a picture where the clothes was on.
Let me
got
see
the clothes.
that, Jerome.
And also I broke down what Mr. Singleton purchased and what I had purchased and receipts and stuff.
Your Honor,
So yeah, Mr. Singleton, fill me in. You took the baby's clothes?
you know, she put me out 3 weeks before the baby was due. And she went on Facebook and told, I have over 1,000 friends on Facebook.
I went on Facebook.
Can I talk,
Your
please? I went on Facebook, and my friend called me and said, man, did you check your Facebook page? I said, no, what's going on? He said, your baby mama on that saying you could stay in New Orleans. So I looked, I said, really? I said, she 3 weeks, she about to be 3 weeks with the baby. How'd she tell me that?
Your Honor,
okay, can I talk, please?
No, because you was not being truthful.
So
it don't matter. You shouldn't have took your son's clothes. What man would take their son's clothes?
When I did talk to her,
what man would take their son's clothes?
Okay,
you're right.
The baby don't have nothing to do with what we going on.
I'm gonna get to why you took the baby's clothes, but what I want to understand is, did you take the baby's clothes?
Yes, I did.
All right, now that's the answer to the question.
I'm gonna be a man, and I did take the baby clothes because she told me to get all your belongings.
You the reason why you got put out.
I bought the clothes, so I took all my belongings.
So hold on. This evidence you presented,
yes,
ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
These are the clothes that you had.
All them clothes, all the clothes I purchased and he purchased.
All these clothes I see here were clothes purchased for the baby by the both of you.
And the reason why I put him out my house, Your Honor, because he was messaging a girl on Facebook when he's supposed to went out of town with his friend, Mr. Williams, to New Orleans, and he said when he get there, he wanted to see the girl, and I seen it. So guess what I did? I went on Facebook and I told him, when you leave, take all your clothes.
You post on Facebook and tell him to get out.
Yes, I did.
And when you got home, he was gone, but he also took the baby's clothes and your clothes.
Even the baby bag he took. He didn't take my clothes, he took the baby bag. He took the baby bag.
So just the baby bag.
Baby bag and the baby clothes.
So these receipts that you presented are for all the things you say he took?
Yes, Your Honor, that's
all
correct.
Right.
Yeah, and I object. I really do. I object. I object because she went on my Facebook page. I was messaging my friends.
That wasn't your friend. What friend you said called baby? I wanted to hook up with my friends
when I went to New Orleans. She's a jealous female.
Hold on now, Mr. Singleton. Just give me a minute. I'm looking through these receipts, and I see receipts for all these outfits.
That I purchased.
You purchased and I purchased too. It don't matter who purchased it.
You don't take your baby clothes.
She purchased it with my money.
You don't take your baby clothes. That's wrong.
You
it don't matter what we go through. You shouldn't have took his clothes.
$1,005 worth of outfits, polo outfits, Puma outfits, all these outfits. You got newborn baby shirts.
I feel she didn't deserve it because she put me out.
She
told me to leave 3 weeks before. Yana,
it's not about me. It's about my newborn baby. It's not about me. It's about my newborn baby that you took for your own son.
She should have thought about that, Yana, before she went on Facebook.
I'd be a fool
and told me to get out.
Stay in my house and you talking to other females. I could do bad by myself. What you mean?
She could have told me.
Your Honor, I could do bad by myself. I was single. I also have other kids at the house too.
Let's calm down.
She could have called me, Yana, on the phone and told me that.
Calm down. Now, at this point, I've seen the receipts. They total $1,955.99.
That's correct.
So, Mr. Singleton, I gotta ask you.
Yes, Yana.
What would possess you to come into a house and take clothes from a baby? If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You obviously were going through something in terms of your thinking. Were you doubtful this child was yours?
I was, Yana. In November, she lied about being 7 months pregnant.
That's not correct.
Can I finish, please, Yana? Can I finish?
That's false, Your Honor.
She lied about being 7 months pregnant.
Yes, I want to hear what you're saying.
I had relocated to New Orleans, so I comes back to her city to support her. Come to find out, she's not even pregnant. I asked her, well, what the sonogram? She said the sonogram comes in the mail. No. Your Honor,
no, Your Honor, that is
sonograms do not come in the mail.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Period.
Can I speak? Can I speak, Your Honor?
No, you can't speak.
That would be a fact. Move on.
Right. So when I found that out, I'm like, okay, now we need to go to the doctor and see what's going on. When we go to the doctor, she's actually pregnant. Now I'm like, whoa, hold up. You told me you 7 months pregnant, but now you actually pregnant?
Oh my God.
That's why I have doubt, Yana.
Okay, so the bottom line is, while you're out of town, she told you I'm 7 months pregnant. So
just to get me back to Jacksonville, just to get me back.
So you came on back to be there for her.
I came back to be the father that I want to be.
There was no sonogram picture when you asked for it. It was in the mail.
Right.
And then you said, let's go on to the doctor. And when you do, she really is pregnant, but they give you a date as to how pregnant she was?
Exactly, Yana. And I'm like, wow.
Your Honor, that's not how it happened.
I'm like, how can this be the date when she already told me she was 7 months pregnant, Yana?
So now, Ms. Jefferson.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm glad I can speak now, Your Honor. That's not how it happened, Your Honor. This is what happened, Your Honor. I went to St. Vincent's, and they said that, Teresa, you had a miscarriage, but I had conceded in September again because we slept together in September.
Whoa.
2 weeks after my birthday.
Whoa,
so that's
Yana,
when I conceded. He already knew this.
So, let me translate.
Yeah, please translate that lie.
Say you were pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you had a miscarriage.
Yes, and I did not know I had a miscarriage.
And then you conceived another child with him.
Yes, Your Honor, in September.
When you confirmed you were pregnant the second time, how far along did they say you were?
I was like I went in the doctor in October, so I was like a couple of weeks. I was a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
I was a couple of weeks. I didn't even know that I had a miscarriage.
Mr. Singleton.
Yes, ma'am.
When you figured out for the second time she really was pregnant.
She really was pregnant this time.
You had doubts that you were the father.
Correct.
Why?
She don't tell me where she going. She take the kids. She don't call me. She don't text me. So in a real man's mind, when your woman is gone for 3-4 days without no phone call, without telling you what, that's some type of doubt, Yana.
Your Honor.
It's some type of doubt.
Your Honor, the reason why I leave, Your Honor, because he's disrespectful. I leave because he's disrespectful.
Are you spending time with other men?
No, I'm not spending time with no other
So you're not with any other guy?
If I didn't know this man, I wouldn't have got his name tatted across my chest.
See, Yana, that have nothing to do with it, Yana.
So you've never been with another guy?
I'm faithful to him, Your Honor.
You've never been with another guy?
Another guy, no.
She's lying.
All right, hold on. Mr. Singleton, you have a witness.
Yes, I do,
Please
Your Honor.
stand, sir. State your name for the court.
Darnell Williams.
Mr. Williams, thank you for joining us today. What do you know about this situation?
Well, I've been knowing Mr. Singleton and Miss Jefferson for almost 10 years now. So when Mr. Singleton left initially, I told him I was going to look after his baby mama and
my family,
his son, and make sure they were straight. They didn't need nothing. So, you know, we don't knock on each other's doors. We just walk into each other's doors. So one day I was cooking some fish. So I had some mustard, but I ain't had no hot sauce. So I went down.
Got to have the hot sauce.
Gotta have the hot sauce.
Okay, go ahead.
Excuse me. So I went downstairs and just walked to the door. And so when I walked in the door, the lights was off. So
You walked into whose door?
Miss Jefferson's door.
Okay, keep going.
So when I walked in, the lights was off. So I hit the light switch, and to my surprise, I'm like, man, what the holy heck going on? She gonna try to pull her shirt down. She got a shirt with, I don't see no shorts or nothing. And it's this dude sitting on the sofa who I don't know, he trying to fix his clothes. So she like, oh, DJ, you just gonna walk in my house? I said, we always just walk in each other's house. We don't never knock on the door. So I was like, well, who is that? She was like, oh, that's my cousin. So I was like, okay, really?
Right,
that's your cousin. It already been rumors going around that she been messing with a maintenance man. Whatever goes on out there in the apartments, I hear about it. And I can see everything that goes on downstairs, to the left of me, to the right of me, in front of me.
And so as you're sitting up there, you see the maintenance man spending a little bit too much time down in her unit.
Yes, ma'am.
A whole lot of things broken.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Williams, look, I mean, if he works in maintenance and there's something that needs to be repaired in her apartment, he can go in there and fix what needs to be repaired.
You're right.
But I will say this. Now, if we need repairs 3 and 4 times a week, now we might have an issue.
No,
but
Your Honor,
thank you for your testimony. You may be seated.
Your Honor, can I speak? Can I say something, Your Honor?
Now, listen, bottom line is, you're getting all this news.
Correct.
And you starting to feel like, what's going on here? She's sleeping with other people.
Correct, Your Honor.
She was pregnant, but not pregnant.
Correct.
So you're completely confused as to whether or not you are this child's father.
Correct, and if I'm not the father of this child, I want my name back.
Despite your doubt, you admit to purchasing this child a lot of clothing.
Correct, Your Honor.
You were getting ready for the baby. You were supportive in that way.
Of course, I messed up things up, but I also replaced everything that I messed up, Your Honor. I replaced her carpet. I replaced her television. I replaced everything that I messed up.
Did you replace the clothes too?
I replaced the clothes. She has more clothes for the baby. Even though I doubt that he is mine, I still support him, even though I still doubt that he's mine.
Ms. Jefferson, let me ask you this. Did he replace the carpet and the clothes and the things that he destroyed?
No, he did not replace the carpet. He did 2 weeks ago when he seen my baby, he did bring me my baby clothes. That's the only thing. He did not replace my carpet. What he did was cruel and hurtful. And that's really stressed me out to the point that I had my baby at 37 weeks and 6 days.
This is my last son that I feel that I'm gonna have. And she knew how passionate I felt about cutting the umbilical cord.
If you felt passionate, you wanna take his
clothes. She told me actually 2 days before she had the baby, don't even come there. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yes, I did.
I'm like, are you serious? This is supposed to be my child. And I can't come share this moment with you? I mean, look at that little boy. It hurts. He's a beautiful little boy, and I would want him to be mine. But, Your Honor, if he's not mine, I got to take my name back because I'm tired of being deceived, lied to, and ran over just because of this.
He took all my baby stuff. My baby ain't have nothing but three outfits, and they was too big. It stressed me out, and he know it stressed me out.
And so you felt so overwhelmed.
And then he texted my phone and laughed about taking my baby clothes. Soon after he did that, I changed my number. I haven't talked to him. 2 weeks ago, I let him see my son, and then he brought my baby clothes. But he still left the other clothes down there for 6 to 9 months and 12 months. And my baby is growing. So I don't have a job right now, so I got to see how I'm gonna get him some more clothes.
I have to support her. That's what it is.
She
just said she didn't have a job. All the clothes that she purchased, she was purchased with my money.
Okay, let me be clear on something. You took the clothes, but then you brought the clothes back.
I did, Your Honor.
He brought half of them back.
Okay, so he brought half the clothes back.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there's another half.
It is another half. That's for the 12 to 18 months. I feel she don't need that right now because I still want to know. I still want to know if this is my child.
But
that's why.
You so trying to be so nasty, but it's an innocent baby. We bickering and arguing over nothing, and we got an innocent baby here that's stuck in the middle of all this foolishness. And it's not about us, it's about him. He needs his stuff. He needs his stuff, Your Honor.
She right.
I'm tired of bickering and arguing with him.
I'm sorry. If this kid is not mine, yes, I will be hurt. And yeah, I do want some of my money back.
With that said, I think it's time to alleviate this doubt. And I think it's time for the results. Thank you, Jerome. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jefferson v. Singleton, when it comes to 2-month-old Sir Singleton, Mr. Singleton,
yes, Your Honor.
You are his father.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm thankful that these results have squashed everyone's
yes,
doubts.
It has. And I do want to apologize to Ms. Jefferson from taking the clothes and for any doubt that I have, but I do want her to understand she the one put the doubt. But I'm glad we got the results, and now we can move on as parents.
So as for your suit and suing for this, would you like to just drop your claim and know that now that he knows it's his son?
No.
So you don't want to drop your claim? All right, so let's do the math. You originally sued for $2,000.
Yes,
and so you admit that he returned half of it. As the parents of this child, you both are responsible to care for this child equally, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Correct, Your Honor.
So with that said, I'm going to order you to return the clothes to Ms. Jefferson or pay her $500.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the judgment is for the plaintiff. Ms. Clary, you are petitioning the court for a paternity test to prove to the defendant that he is the father of your son, Gage, who has multiple medical needs. You say Mr. Asenato owes you $15,000 in child support, and you demand he pays you what he owes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Asenato, you say there's no reason to pay any money for a child that you know is not yours, and claim to have bombshell evidence to prove that you're not the father. You state that when you return home, you'll go back to court to have the $15,000 you owe erased from your record. So, Mr. Asenato, I have to ask you, you owe $15,000
Your
in
Honor,
child
there's
support?
no way that I owe $15,000 on a child that's not
He
mine.
signed the birth certificate.
She's basically roped me into signing a birth certificate for a child that she told me that was mine and has taken me to court for child support. I've paid almost $15,000 in child support.
So you admit you do owe the child support?
Not on a child that's not mine. No, ma'am.
But you said you signed the birth certificate.
I did sign the birth certificate. She made me believe that the child was mine by saying that she was only with me.
You did sleep with her?
I did, yes, ma'am.
You thought you were exclusively together, girlfriend, boyfriend, committed?
No, ma'am. She was married at the time.
Your Honor, no, when we first met, we both were married. When we both met, we were separated. I wasn't with my husband for 1.5 years whenever I got
Your Honor,
to see
that's
my
not
son.
true.
Take me back.
Let
me understand this relationship. When you met, you both were married.
I was separated from my wife, and I moved into a townhouse, which was next to her and her husband.
And my ex-husband and I were going through issues, and we're separating.
Okay. So you all began a sexual relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
But both of your marriages were not completely over at the time.
Correct.
Tell me about the first night you all were intimate. How did this relationship begin?
We were hanging out next door, and we were all friends, hanging over there shooting pool, drinking, watching movies, and everybody left except for me, and one thing kind of led to another. He made a pass at me, and...
So you began a sexual relationship?
Correct.
And how long did it continue before you found out you were pregnant?
That was in 2007. My son was born in 2011.
Oh, 4 years?
Exactly.
So you all were living next door to one another for 4 years?
No, ma'am. That's when we first met. We lived together on and off over the last 8 years. When my son was born, we were living together.
She was not living with me.
Yes, I was, and I was also
When she got
paying the
pregnant,
bills.
she moved in with me when she got pregnant because I wanted to do the right thing.
Well, she said that when her son was born, she was living with you. That was right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct.
That is correct. I'm
okay.
sorry.
So
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you're saying is when her son was conceived, she was not living
No,
with you.
ma'am,
But
she was not.
So your point is you don't know
house.
if she was sleeping with someone else or not.
I do know for a fact that she was with somebody else.
Oh, what do you know?
I know Crystal. Crystal was married when she came to my house on the first night.
But you
slept
know,
with
Your
me.
Honor, this other gentleman he's talking about, while we were not together, I was dating somebody else, and we split up 2 months prior to me getting pregnant with my son.
That's not true, Your
And then-
Honor. I know for a fact that on a specific night that she said that she was going out with this gentleman, I called her. Crystal never answered the phone. Not text, nothing. All day, all night. Next day, I get a hold of her. Crystal, where were you? Oh, I went out to dinner with this guy and I got sick and I was in the hospital.
He knew I was seeing somebody else, and what I'd done at that time was none of his business because we were not together.
Your Honor, we've never been together. It's just
Really, but yeah, we got 8 years together. We lived together multiple times.
So wait, let's get to the birth. I want to get to the birth.
Yes,
He was
ma'am.
at
You
the
say
hospital.
after she found out she was pregnant, you wanted to do the right thing.
I did.
You had her move in.
Yes, ma'am.
When Gage was born, you were living together.
Yes, ma'am. She
So
moved
you
into my house.
did you go to doctor's appointments? Did you
No, he
support
did
her
not,
through
Your
this?
Honor.
Did you go to the hospital when Gage was born?
I did.
He was at the hospital when the baby was born. My son was 5 weeks premature and 7'5". See that right there? There's a picture of him at the
Mr.
hospital with the
Asenato,
baby.
this is you.
Yes, ma'am.
In this picture right here, you had no doubt this child was yours.
No.
You thought you were having a child with your girlfriend that lived with you and you all were going to be a family.
No, ma'am. Crystal got pregnant because we were fooling around. I was doing the
We
right
were
thing.
never
We were not
just fooling around. We
gonna
were
have a
together. I left
relationship.
a relationship and a marriage also for this man on
that
multiple
is not
occasions,
true.
on and off for 8 years.
So you believe you're paying child support for a child that is not yours.
Absolutely.
And you think that's unfair.
Your Honor,
I
what
think-
But you
have to
do
is
realize
what
under
he
the
has
law
to
that
bring.
once you sign a birth certificate,
I do.
you are considered the legal father.
Yes,
and you
ma'am.
are responsible
Yes, ma'am.
for child support.
And I have been responsible. I have the payments right here.
He pays
Jerome,
it
will
when
you
it's
please pass me
convenient
Mr.
for him, Your
Asenato's
Honor.
evidence? What is
Now
this
we have
evidence
tied back up
pertaining
This is
to?
all my payments that I've made except for the 8 months that I've been out of work. Being that I've been paying these
He was working
$1,000
cash
at
those 8
first,
months.
the first
First 4
year
months.
I was at my job working in the oil field, it was $1,026 a month for one child. One child,
But
okay?
you know, Your
I'm
Honor,
not
I was
an NBA
paying-
player.
I was paying
I'm not a movie star.
$123
I work in the oil
$125 a week.
field. Anyways, regardless of that, she's
Because
always
he
making
quit his job.
accusations that I'm a deadbeat. I don't pay
He
my
is a
child support
deadbeat.
payments. You
He
can
don't
see
pay-
on that
he
paper
just started in the last
that you
6
can
months
see I've
because
made
I got
all
it
my
tied back
payments
up in
except
court.
for that
Last
first
year,
8
I got
months.
it back in court because he was not paying. He's only denying our child because of child support.
So at some
And
point you filed and
I filed
petitioned the
because
court.
he told me, I told him my son needed diapers. He's like, you're such a whore. Go work the street corner for diapers. So I turned around and went and filed child support. That's when he started denying my son.
When did your doubt set in and why?
Gage had a lot of medical problems when he was a baby. He had colic, he had ear infections, he had multiple problems. He had
2
ear
weeks in the
infections.
hospital. Mr. Asenato never once called, never once showed up. He called maybe twice the 2 weeks.
I have a 20-year-old son, okay? My son's never been sick. My son was born at 9 pounds, 8 ounces, okay? This child was
My
born
son-
at 6 pounds. He didn't look
No,
anything like
Your
my
Honor,
other
that's
son.
a lie. My son
son's
was
never
5
been sick.
weeks
We don't have
premature and
any of these
7'5".
sicknesses in my family going back centuries.
But
we
also
don't
the
have
doctor
any disease,
did
any sickness,
state, the doctor
any of
also
that.
stated this medical issue that my son has.
Mr. Asenato, I hate to say, but that evidence is irrelevant.
My son has thalassemia, which is a medical condition that comes from Italian, is a Mediterranean descent. He is full-blooded Italian. I'm Native American.
Hold on, Miss Clary, go back and explain this to me. Your
My-
son has a medical issue that he deals with called
Thalassemia.
thalassemia.
And it's an inherited, it's a genetic blood disorder, and it comes from people of the Mediterranean.
You brought evidence
descent,
to explain that,
of
Jerome.
Mediterranean
Please hand that to
descent.
me.
Todd is full-blooded
What
Italian.
evidence is that? She prints it up off of online? Really? Is that
And
evidence?
this is what I do.
Thalassemia.
Whenever we're fighting, all of a sudden my son's not his. When we're getting along, he loves his son. That's his son. It's when we're not getting along or the child support.
not
That's the
denying-
whole
no,
issue is child
that's-
support.
All right, let's get some order. Let's get some order. This evidence says that thalassemia is an inherited
Yes, Your Honor.
blood disorder, which basically the body makes abnormal blood. But it's most frequently found in people of Mediterranean descent,
Correct.
African Americans, and people of Asian origin.
Correct.
Now, Mr. Asenato, you're not African American.
I am not.
You're not of Asian
I
origin.
am not.
But are you of Mediterranean desknow?
I'm Italian. I don't know
Which
if
is
that. I believe
Mediterranean.
so. Right.
So the answer would be yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So
And I'm
this
Irish.
is one of the main issues that you feel like you don't understand why he's denying
Exactly.
that Gage could
Because-
potentially be his.
exactly. And
Are
the
you of
doc-
Mediterranean descent?
No, ma'am. I'm Native American and Irish.
But the gentleman that she was with is with
No,
Mediterranean.
the gentleman that I was with 2 months prior to conceiving my son is Hispanic.
Hispanic.
You just listed off a series of medical issues that don't preclude you from being the biological father.
And I
I need to hear
understand.
more about your doubt.
My doubt is the child looks nothing like me at the time when I had this doubt. This was last December.
Your Honor, my son
okay?
looks just like me.
Last December,
and,
I took-
last I checked, I was his mother. See, that's my how can you not love that baby? You know, in fact, a friend of mine sent me an app to try that shows you the comparison, even that of how much Gage looked like Todd whenever he.
Your Honor, I
ago.
could pull up apps online and just send them to
I have it
people.
here.
It doesn't mean anything.
What is this app?
You pull up the parents and does a comparison, and it shows he looks like he has so much.
So you submit photos, you put them in this app, and then the app will calculate the percentage of likeness,
Yes.
meaning this one determined that Gage looked 68.3%
Of me.
like his father.
Yes, ma'am.
And 31%.
And then
of-
31.7% like you.
So I'm sure if I picked out somebody from the audience and sent that
Your Honor,
in with
he's
her
very
engaged,
talkative, very
it would
charming.
be
He's one of
same
these types that
percentage.
can con an alley cat out of a tuna dinner. I mean, he's very charming. He's very, you know, he's going to make you believe anything you want to believe. I loved you for some stupid reason.
Regardless, Your Honor, this is what's come to
The
the
only
point
thing
of
is
this.
our son is the one that's suffering. The only reason I agreed to this is because my son is 4. Now he wants to do this because of child support. My son does not deserve this.
I don't want to do this because of child support. I want to
It's
do
all.
this because of medical.
You know, he waits 4 years. My son is 4. My son knows him. That's his daddy. And then now he wants to do this. Gage knows him as his daddy.
And this is really upsetting to you because you feel that it's about money. And
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't believe it's about Gage.
Yes, Your Honor, exactly.
And you believe Gage is hurting because of this.
Exactly.
Because in his mind, that's his daddy.
Exactly, that's his daddy.
So what is your
Father.
relationship like with Gage?
Oh, I love him. He's my little man.
Then why are we
Do
here?
anything for him. I'm here because if that child gets sick and he needs something, and a organ or blood or whatever, I'm not his biological
You are
father.
his biological father.
His biological
Your
father
own
needs
mother,
to
when he
stand
was
up. He
first
needs to
born,
know
said
who
he
his
looked just
biological
like you.
father is.
Then whenever he was
And
a
if
couple weeks
something
old,
happens to him, and he needs something, we need to know where to go get that.
he tells me constantly, he's not my son. He has told him
He is not my
before,
son.
He is your
Biologically,
son.
he is
his
not my
biological
son.
He's made comments to Gage before and makes
I have
comments
never
to me
said that to that
once
boy
he did on the
ever
phone.
once. She's
Yes,
the
you
one that
have.
says it when she gets
No, I
pissed.
do not. He denies
always
him
says
in front
it.
of me.
But let me ask you this, though, Mr. Asenato, and I understand if you're not Gabe's biological father, I of course understand why you would say you'd prefer not to be paying child support for a child that isn't yours. But you do understand that the care that you provide, the financial support you provide is an important part
Absolutely.
of his quality of life.
And that boy would never
legally,
go
you've
without.
signed his birth certificate.
That boy
So
would never go
on
without.
his birth certificate, when he looks at the name, that's you.
Exactly, Your
But
Honor.
that
That's
should be
his daddy.
up to me. It shouldn't be governed by her. It shouldn't be governed by the state
Well,
of
it was up
Louisiana.
to you.
Just
You
because he can
signed
choose
it.
to
I should-
win-
Voluntarily. What I want you to ultimately understand, and this is an important legal lesson, not just for you, but for men in general. When you sign that birth certificate, when you sign it, you are the legal father. You are responsible for the child support. And it's not as easy as waking up and saying, oh, you know, I signed this birth certificate, but now I have a doubt. It's not that easy. And you're living that now. And you understand that.
I do.
So, Miss Clary, I have to ask you, I must ask you, respectfully, are there any other possible fathers?
No, Your Honor. I love this
Anybody?
man. No, ma'am. I was, like I said, the guy he keeps claiming, we were on a breakup, and I was with the guy, I slept with him one time, protected, 2 months prior to my son being conceived. That's the only person I was with, and that was 2 months before my son was conceived. I don't sleep around. You're the one that I've been with. I have not been with no one else. Still to this day, I'm still with you.
And
I mean, 2 nights ago, we were together. I mean, honestly.
I'm not denying that.
But yet, you still call me up wanting to get together. And we weren't in a
Because
relationship.
I ain't got
we
time
had
to meet
8 kids.
anybody else. How's that?
Mr. Asenato, come on now.
I'm just keeping it real, Your Honor. I don't go out to bars. I don't go out to date.
Messing around.
This
I was
is just
pregnant with his
convenience.
next door
Both
neighbor.
of you, if you're gonna keep it real, let me keep it real. Everybody in this gallery, including me and Jerome, can see that you all have some type of bond, chemistry, relationship that's not going anywhere anytime soon. You all argue, fuss, and fight, but somehow you still end up together.
Yes, ma'am.
What I'm most concerned about is this little boy.
Absolutely.
I want him to know the
That's what
truth.
I've been telling him.
I'm concerned that he looks at you every day. You're his dad. He calls you that. He regards you as that. You love him.
Absolutely.
And yet you're running around all the time with doubt in your mind and carrying a level of anger and animosity towards his mother, which isn't healthy for him.
What? I don't let him
And
see
then still
that.
sleeping with her anyway.
You do.
So, with that said,
call me every name in front of
I think
him.
it's time for us to get to the truth in hopes that we can find a healthy way to move forward. Jerome, may I have the envelope, please?
All right.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Clary versus Asenato, when it comes to 4-year-old Gage Asenato, Mr. Asenato, do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Clary versus Asenato, when it comes to 4-year-old Gage Asenato, Mr. Asenato, you are not his father.
I did not sleep with anyone else. I slept with somebody 2 months prior.
Miss Clary, you had me convinced.
Your Honor, it was 2 months before.
We say in this courtroom, plaintiffs lie, defendants lie. But the DNA, it doesn't lie. It doesn't.
Again, I did not sleep with anyone. It was 2 months before.
Your Honor, that doesn't change anything for me or that child. It needed to be put on paper. I love him to death. I'd do anything for that little boy. I give up everything, and he will always have a father regardless who it is.
Thank you for that, Mr. Asenato. Miss Clary, you have the opportunity while he's still young to figure this out for him, figure out who his biological father is, find him, take the test, let him know, let him get involved. Mr. Asenato says he'll still be involved, and he's young enough that he can accept this.